Back, ladies and gentlemen, to Uncharted Waters. This is your host, Duke James XI from the Socium Bronstein Gaming Corporation. Oh, do we have an episode today? We are going to be traveling to Pisa, and we are going to go ahead and start our studies with the High Advanced Voyager School. Now, there has been a lot that has happened in the time in between the last video that came out and this one, as these are completely different recording dates. This is about a week in the future now. I have went ahead and found and explored quite a few of these cities in the Northern European theater, as well as I took a look at the company colony as well, so I've went out there and taken a look around. I have stopped at a few cities only because of quests as well as the British storyline, but I've only stopped at like 5, that being Alexandria, Venice, Seville, Faro, Lisbon, 6, Gijon. Gijon would be more, it sounds very Spanish. But either way, today we have the trip down there, and so with the entire trip, I'm going to be using the time to kind of explain what I've came up with, as well as a few other things. So I'm going to go ahead, stock up completely on some food, get myself some timber, I guess, but go ahead and grab that. And so we'll go ahead, our first stop will be off to the city of, let's take a quick look, to the city of Viana do Castelo. So with that, let's get on going. So the topic for today, our taboo topic, is the topic of skills. Now, I've gotten a few more skills on top of this, and it's quite a different sight. So currently, my levels have increased and my character's completely changed. I am now super British. With my glorious wig and red coat. I also have some specialty clothes on, so I'm actually dressed to go into Islamic territories. But with that, my levels have increased dramatically to 17, and I believe my battle has not changed. I've done a lot of sailing around, doing a lot of more or less that. As well as taking care of a lot of quests and everything else. So if I take a peek here at the storyline, I have went all the way down to chapter 12. That is literally all I've done this week, has just gone through the storyline. And so I might actually do like a story reading or something at some point about what's happened. But long story short, the next place I gotta go to is West Africa, and so I won't be doing that until after I've finished school, so that way I can actually focus on something rather than go ahead and kind of go crazy. So let's go ahead and straighten out. So to get on the skill topic here, so currently my skills reside off at 29 out of 30. So it's quite a lot. So I've been working, of course, with sailing around, you automatically get sail handling up. I've been having surveying up as much as I can, so that's at rank 4. I've done a lot of geography quests, which has gotten me up to rank 3 and just about halfway. I've worked a lot on fishing, literally having it on at any point, which I actually forgot to turn on as soon as I left port. Go back to that. Along with that, I've gotten my recognition skill up as well because of working quests. A bit of collection. Accounts has risen on its own. Food trading, alcohol trading, and luxuries trading. So something that every person in this game needs is a type of trade that they are a special, not like a special person to, but more like it's their specialty. So on my old account from years past, I was not only a cook, I also was a caster. I used to cast iron into like plates for armor on ships, as well as for actual armoring for a person. I also used to make items for actual like ship-to-ship combat, as well as a few other things like that. I also had alcohol and luxuries trading for Nanban trading out to China. Those, especially for Japan, if you're France, you can buy a lot of alcohol in French cities and go off to infinity and beyond into China and Japan and trade alcohol for literally anything. It depends on the city, though. Some cities will not want alcohol as much as the others, but the more you trade, the more you can work with in regards to Chinese exports and items. Moving on from that, though, I've been working on cooking a little bit. I've been making some food of some kind. As well as having caution up, so that way I do not get attacked by an NPC or anything like that. I've had frugality up, but I'll explain frugality in a moment. I've been working on storage for going ahead and working on fish to go ahead and procure them into food, sociability, talking with higher up people, and handicrafts, which I will talk about in a moment. I also have swordplay, gunnery, and repair. Those are really critical skills that you really need in the incoming of the game, because the first thing that you get is a sword. You get cannons, and sadly you do not get repair unless you are a battle-oriented person, but repair is perfect because who doesn't want to repair their ship? I just realized I'm... Oh, there we are. So my storyline quest was going off there. My apologies. Continuing with skills. Let's see here. I'll slowly get back up to speed in a moment. Continuing though, so repair is a critical skill. Leadership I have for the fact of disorder, fighting, and mutiny that can happen on ships. The higher the rank, the better you can quell that. Now you can have an aide, like a literal aide, who can actually have a skill that can go ahead and quell that automatically. But starting out, you really can't work that skill too much from the aide until you have one. I also have tactics, which increases attack and defense power during melee battles. It's a perfect skill for any first-time player, as it's literally the basic skill for when you're in a melee battle and you need to go ahead and get more attack or defense. You can go ahead and get gunfire and assault and so on. But, all you're doing mainly is just engaging the enemy ship at whatever they are. The higher you can raise your attack and defense, the better for yourself, as well as first aid. So, I have taken about a good, 6 hours looking through looking through skills, trying to understand what people need and what people really don't need. And so, what I've done is I've taken a look at what I really wanted to be, or what I really was and want to be now. And so the main focus that I have for my skills, or at least the skills that I'm really wanting, are for productions, especially for side money. So making ships. Making items for your ships, as well as food for you and your fleet members or your company members. Aid food is a big thing that makes a lot of money on this server. Makes a lot of money in the game. And then battle supplies, usually, especially with having, let me take a look here, especially having handicrafts, just to show off that, handicrafts, you can get many books, for instance, the Shipwright Basics, getting different, or making different things such as large drills for attacking enemy ships, as well as lifesavers, hangover buckets, fire buckets to put out fires, making barrels simply just for, I can't remember what they're made specifically for. I think it's for lowering defense of enemy ships, I think. Rat repellent, as well as a lot of other things. And so production is very important, not just for yourself, but also to help out your company mates and other things for yourself later down in the game. Now, of course, you don't have to have handicrafts. You could do that with casting. You could do that with sewing. Everyone will have their own kind of thing that they want to go after. Handicrafts is just more or less the basic that everyone goes after. But the more that you work it, the better it can be. Now, this is an actual industrial city for Portugal, but currently Portugal is not going through an actual industrial revolution or industrial revolutionary type events. So just taking a look here, a lot of wine and dried skin. I was about to say, I'm like, I didn't know citrus was a spice. But yes, lots of wine here. All right, let's go ahead. Actually, we'll sell off our fish so that way we can just kind of open up our cargo a bit more. Go ahead and just sell that as a giant set here. And there we go, a little bit of a haggle. 8 ducats more, woohoo. Anywho, so for the next thing, I also am everyone needs, now, I mean, it depends. If you want to be a pirate or want to be a person that literally battles their heart out, this wouldn't be for you. But for myself, I'm looking over for for being an adventurer, specifically with geography and shipwrecks. Geography, for the simple fact of that, in real life, I love to draw maps. I can look at the map of the United States and pretty much draw you out the entire layout of each 50 states. Each of the 50 states, I could draw out the provinces of Canada as well. I can give you a general assumption as to what the borders of the world are, not so much like not the Middle East, like Southwest Asia, possibly, a bit of Africa, if anything. But I love maps. I've been drawing maps since I was a little boy. And so I loved just to pretty much do that. And so, and then shipwrecks, for the simple fact of that, you can find a lot of things in shipwrecks. You can actually find cargo that you can sell off that can make you a lot of money, as well as, Porto's a big town now. I thought this was a small town. Oh, well, if anything, look at that. There's Porto. Moving on, though. Shipwrecks can get you a lot. They can do a lot for you, and, they're really fun to go ahead and try and find and do things with. So, it's something that everyone has a preference to. Everyone has a preference to what they actually want to do, not just shipwrecks or whatever else. So, I mean, it's up to you. But if anything, moving on, the next thing I have up, which I explained earlier, was trade. I have the alcohol trading skill, luxuries trading skill, as well as, what did I have? Foodstuffs. There we go. Food trading. And so, not everyone will want to have trading skills. Again, if you're a battler, all your skills are on battle type. Maybe a few adventure skills just for the simple fact of getting around, but you don't really need trade skills. If you're wanting to be an adventurer, you don't need battle skills. If you want to be a trader, you really don't need battle skills, but you don't need many adventure skills either. You're really just going in for the trade. So it's, it's a lot of logistics. You got to really try and plan it out. So we'll go ahead and quick stop in Lisbon. I've already found this city. And then I have already stopped in Faro. So I'm actually going to skip Faro, stop in Seville, just to show the actual city. And then we will move on to the next city, which will be Ceuta. Or however it's theoretically pronounced, if anything. Anyway, here is the what is the supposed capital of Portugal, which actually is the capital of Portugal. Quite a lot going on for you, as well as quite a few estates for extra skills, the company district, school, and so on and so forth. And so with that, let's go ahead and get out of here, move on. So out of all these skills, when I was explaining just a few moments ago, if you're a trader, you don't need really any battle skills or many trade skills either. If you're going to be a battler, you really don't need many trade skills, but you might need a few adventure and so on and so forth. So I'm going to be a little bit of a mix. I have, adventure type skills that I specifically want to help me later in my quote-unquote life. But I have I want to go after trade, and I also, want to. Oh, that's right. I didn't actually finish my last. I have four specific areas I was trying to go after in terms of skills. That being production, being an adventurer, trade, finally being a battle support individual. Quite a few people are always like trying to fight in the epic sea feuds, as well as going after specific fleets that come out of East Asia. I specifically want to be a battle support individual, looking at my company as well as my fleet when I am in one. And so I specifically are looking to be that guy with the large repair skill, as well as to have fleet food. So again, my production, and then surgery, which stems from, if I open this up, which stems from first aid. It is a skill that heals or treats the injured from a melee battle. You'll need extra water to go ahead and use that skill, and to kind of move on from there. It helps out with everything. Along with that, that's pretty much all. But so what I have quite a few battle skills. And to really quick just take a look at Seville here. I'm kind of skipping back and forth. I'm sorry for the fast. Here's this, here's that. All right, let's continue. But the capital Seville actually has literally the most bazaars you'll ever find for literally anything. You can come here and just yell, "Does anyone have some type of ship part?" And literally 5 people will be at your neck in about 20 minutes. So you don't have to wait long to get responses. Not even 20 minutes. I'd say even 5 minutes at most. But quite literally, Seville is your one-stop window shop. So anyway, continuing on from that, let's go off to our next city. But to continue, so I have quite a few battle skills at the moment. Well, not too many in terms of standards, but I have quite a few skills that I could literally substitute for a lot of other things, such as the fact of tactics, as well as gunnery and sword play. I specifically would love to utilize guns later on, and especially with ships, or not even ships, hand-to-hand combat with other players. I would love to have the gunfire skill, gunfire skill instead of swordplay, as well as to replace gunnery, to have that replaced under shipbuilding, and to have the arms skill for ship skills. And so for that specific skill, arms, if I can find it, there it is, you do actually need gunnery and tactics. So until I get the arms skill, which is currently located all the way out in either Portobello or Manila, which, if any of you know, Manila is out in... Why am I forgetting this? The Philippines. Wow, that took me a really long time. I almost said Indonesia 6 times out loud. I'm like, okay, I need to stop, James, please. But yes, out there. And then Portobello, I believe, is actually in the Caribbean. So to continue, though, here's Ceuta, which is just right down south. I've completed a research thesis. I've completed a research thesis. Oh, I had it on R1 Discoveries. Well, that was fast. Actually, we'll take a quick stop back over to Seville and go ahead and put that back up. Now, see, if anyone is, wanting to do this, go to college. No kidding. Go to Oxford and, just get yourself involved. I'm not trying to sound like I'm, involved in college or anything. But go to college and get yourself, involved in it. It will help you out dearly. And so it gets you a lot of access skills. Here we go. Let's see if I can find this. Would it be under? Event, debate, memorial album, help note world information, special item effects, shipwrecks. No. Where in the world would this be? I'm trying to look for where the actual skills would be. For college skills. I kid you not. I mean, it probably has not changed at all. But I kid you not, for some reason... Is it review lecture? No, that's reviewing all the quests that you've gone through school. If anything, I think I can go ahead and actually do it through the archives. Let's see, that's the Port Square. Let's go ahead and get on over there. Really, I'm really starting to question this. Quest, town map, charts, treasure hunt, research info, shipwrecks, special item effects, map investigations is obviously, no, I'm not even doing anything like that. Oh, I'm here? Wow. Let's see if I can take a look. I did it just the other day. I randomly found out where it was, and then I forgot again. Spaniard, there we go. My special... Okay, well, let's continue research then. Rank 1. Go ahead and do the exact same thing. Natural, there we are. Complete. Perfect. So now, like a few more places, and then I'll go ahead and have another thesis to turn in. It would not be under journal. It shouldn't be. Debate deck. Maybe it would be under... No. Oh, goodness. Research info? No, okay. We'll get back to college skills soon when James figures out his life and somehow gets himself back on board. Because for some reason I can't seem to remember how to do this. But if anything, just to finalize, so with the battle skills, especially with a lot of people, those going for trade, those going for adventure, the ones that you specifically would need would be whatever skill pertains to the type of weapons that you'll most likely want to carry. That being pistols, rifles, or to swords, or to throwing knives, or to, spears, or to throwing spears. There are skills out there. If I go ahead and pull up actual skills, and I go to battle, bows, of course. Bows, so you can have bows. Gunfire, which improves your actual gun attack. Sword mastery off of sword play. As well as... Oh no, that's under adventure, isn't it? Yes, and then sword throwing. So if you have an actual, like throwing knife or anything like that, that would actually be the skill. So it's actually under adventure. But if anything, you want that skill for whatever type you have. And then, if you're going to be a support like myself, if you want to support more, have surgery, have surgery, have repair, if anything. Otherwise, just simply have repair, then the battle skill that you would need. Also, another thing is that if you look off of battle, you can have actually firefighting lookout, which can actually help you with your with like reconnaissance, like trying to find certain ships, as well as request reinforcements. That allows other players to come and help you out. And finally, shipbuilding. If you actually want to build a ship, it is under the battle tech, or the battle type skills. And so, following with that, if you are one of those individuals, this is where you need to go. So you'll need to start ranking up repair and everything. Moving on, though. So with that, the skills that I am still needing, which after replacing swordplay, gunnery, and tactics, I will get arms at a point, as well as there's the Mediterranean. Actually, I think have I passed a town? I already have. I've passed Malaga. I was about to say, I'm like, Valencia is like coming up really fast. Well, we'll have to stop by Malaga some other time, because we're about to visit Valencia over here. What a tragedy. Poor Malaga. I knew I was talking too much. But, I think I'll actually stop at Valencia, and then I'll start up the next episode in Malaga, and continue the topic of skills, as well, because skills, it would take hundreds of episodes, I would think, to actually go down each skill, explore what each skill can do, how it would work, etc., and so on. Which, I mean, I could do that at some point, but I believe it's a little too, unnecessary to go ahead and explain every skill. If you want the experience, you can do the experience yourself. It is at least my philosophy. But just explaining what I'm doing and what I'm, trying to accomplish would be, good for you guys, of course. Everyone's wanting to know what I'm doing, so. So here we are. We're stopped in Valencia. Da-da-da. Alright, we'll actually head off to the bar here. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves a quick drink. I'll finish off, and then we'll move on. Hello there, barman. We have... a new vein of gold has been found in North America. Now, if only the sherry could just tell me, what I really needed to do. Oh, goodness. Alright, well, if anything, I'll quick treat the sailors. And I'm going to go take a seat. So, the topic of skills does take a long time to develop. And so within, this episode and the next episode, I hope it kind of helps with just kind of, understanding where you need to look. So, if you want to be an adventurer, but you don't want to go into geography and you want to go into theology and archaeology, you can do that. Just make sure that you have those skills, have other skills that you think could support, or asking other players on the school chat or around in the world chat. If you have any questions, the community is here to help you. And of course, if it's not correct, it's not correct. But these people are here to help. It's a great community. It's a great community. They're so great. They're amazing. So, from that, I'm going to go ahead and leave it here. Next episode, I'll quick move to Malaga, and then we will continue and pick up off of Adventure and Trade to wrap up the topic of skills with that. Other than that, though, I don't really see much else to kind of go on other than, moving on to the next episode. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope this helps you out to understand a bit more about skills, to understand a bit more about what you should be doing later on in your career in Uncharted Waters Online. So I hope that helps out, and I will leave it all to you for the next time. So please leave a like, look down below for any of the links. Really helps out if you just kind of take a look around, get caught up with everything, leave a comment, and whatever else for you. And I will see you all next time.